Is your belly growing no matter how little you eat or how hard you train? Are your jeans getting tighter while the scale barely moves? As a nurse with autoimmune disease who's lived this too, I'm going to show you the real reason that belly won't move. The surprising organ that decides where your body stores fat, and the first thing to check before you cut another calorie. Because this is exactly where so many women get dismissed. If you're a woman over 50 and your middle has changed, even though your eating habits haven't, this one's for you. You've probably been told the same thing that I was told for years: eat less, move more, try harder. And when that didn't work, the quiet message underneath it was that you might not be trying hard enough. I want to walk you through what's actually going on inside your body. Because once you see it, that belly stops looking like a willpower problem and starts looking like a signal. And the organ most responsible for it isn't the one you'd ever guess. Here's what almost nobody says out loud: that belly fat is not proof that you failed. Your body isn't broken, it's burden. When your labs come back and someone tells you everything just looks fine, but your body clearly doesn't feel fine, that mismatch matters. I know that feeling. I grew up as an athlete and I never had a weight problem in my life until after my third child. And then it crept on and wouldn't come off no matter what I did. Well, every lab I got told me I was perfectly fine. So let's actually look at what's happening. The menopause belly isn't one thing going wrong, it's a pattern. A few systems shift around this age, and they all start pushing fat towards your middle at the same time. Get curious about them. And by the end, you'll see how they all trace back to one place most women and most doctors never think to look. Let's start with the one that sets the speed for everything: your thyroid. Your thyroid is the thermostat for your whole metabolism. It sets how fast your body burns fuel. When it slows down, even just a little, everything slows with it. You burn fewer calories doing the exact same things you did at 40. Your temperature drops so you could feel cold when everyone else is comfortable. Your digestion slows, so you get puffy and backed up. And the scale creeps up, even though nothing about the way you eat has changed. Here's the part that keeps many women stuck. Standard testing often checks just one number called TSH. And if it lands anywhere inside a very wide range, you get called normal and sent home. You can feel every symptom of a sluggish thyroid and still get waved off. I lived that for more than a decade, losing hair on my eyebrows and my arms. I was exhausted, cold, foggy, and my TSH was normal. It was on the high side of normal, but still normal. By the time anyone took it seriously, it had already turned into Hashimoto's, an autoimmune attack on the thyroid. My doctor later told me that it probably would have never gotten that far if someone had treated it years earlier. So, the very first thing to check before you cut another calorie is a full thyroid panel, not just TSH. Ask for free T3 and free T4 and thyroid antibodies. Because if your thermostat has been turned down, eating less will not fix what's really a heat problem. Now, a slow thyroid isn't only the thing working against your middle. Two others get a lot of the attention, and for good reason. Cortisol, your stress hormone, tells your body to pack that fat deep in your belly when your alarm system never shuts off. And insulin resistance, when your cells stop responding and your body gets stuck in storage mode, makes that belly feel impossible to move. I've made full videos breaking down both of those, and we'll put those in the end of the video to click on. So I won't go through all of that here. But if those pieces are your pieces, go watch that after this. And because blood sugar is so often the hidden driver, I put together a free insulin resistance guide that walks you through the early signs most women miss and simple ways to start studying it. That link is in the description below, and it pairs so well with everything I'm about to show you. Because here's where it gets interesting. There's a piece underneath all of this that almost nobody connects to belly fat. And it might be the reason the other three won't budge. It's your gut. So stay with me because this surprised me too. Deep in your gut lives a whole community of bacteria whose job is to help your body process and clear out old estrogen. Researchers even have a name for this specific crew. They call it the estrobolome. When your gut is healthy, those bacteria help escort used up estrogen out of your body cleanly so your hormones stay in balance. But when your gut is inflamed or out of balance, that system breaks down. Instead of being cleared out, that old estrogen gets reactivated and sent right back into your bloodstream. Picture taking the trash to the curb and then someone quietly carries it right back into your kitchen. That's what a struggling gut does with your used up hormones. So now you've got estrogen floating around at the wrong levels at the worst possible time when your hormones are already swinging in perimenopause and menopause. And that imbalance changes where your body decides to store its fat. It's the biggest reason the weight suddenly parks itself at your waist in your 40s and 50s when it never used to live there before. And if you're sitting there thinking your gut has felt off for a while, the bloating, the sluggish digestion, the sense that things just aren't moving like they used to, please don't brush that aside. That's not a side issue that you want to deal with later. For a lot of women, that's the room the whole problem is hiding in. And it gets more connected than that. Your gut makes a huge share of the messengers that either calm your inflammation down or crank it up. So, a struggling gut quietly feeds the same inflammation that slows your thyroid and keeps your cortisol high from a place you'd never think to look. Your gut is sitting underneath the whole pattern. That's why sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for your belly has almost nothing to do with the gym. It's healing what's happening in your gut. More fiber and real food, fewer things that irritate the gut lining, and giving those good bacteria something to actually work with. When my own gut started to heal, that was the moment that my body finally let go of my weight that it had been white knuckling for years. I lost 95 pounds working at the root cause, and I've kept it off, not by eating less and less, but by fixing the system underneath. But your gut isn't clearing that estrogen alone, it has a partner. And this is the part most women have never heard: your liver. Your liver is the body's filter, which we all know. One of its quiet jobs is to take used up estrogen, package it up, and hand it off to your gut to carry out. Think of it like a two-step relay. Your liver does the sorting and your gut does the hauling. If either one is overwhelmed, that old estrogen just doesn't leave. It circles back around. And in midlife, your liver is often carrying a heavy load already. Everyday alcoholic drinks, a lot of sugar, extra medications, and the constant low grade inflammation we've been talking about all pile onto the same filter that's supposed to be clearing your hormones. When your liver is that backed up, estrogen clearance slips to the bottom of its to do list. So the belly holds on and you can't figure out why because nobody ever told you that your liver had anything to do with your waistline. Supporting that filter is simpler than it sounds. More of the bitter leafy vegetables like arugula, dandelion greens, and the cruciferous family, broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts, which actually help your liver process estrogen. Drink plenty of water and easing up on the alcohol and the sugar that keep it distracted. You're not detoxing with some fancy cleanse. You're just clearing the desk so your liver can get back to the job it's meant to do. So, look at what we've really got here. The biggest mistake I see is a woman throwing all of her effort at one lever everyone talks about: calories, while the real machinery runs untouched in the background. She white knuckles a smaller and smaller plate full of food and wonders why her body fights her. Because you can't out diet a turned down thyroid, and you can't out diet a gut and liver that can't clear your own hormones. That's not a discipline failure. That's a system asking for support. And here's how it all fits together. Underneath every piece of this is the same through line: inflammation. It slows your thyroid, it keeps cortisol high, it wears down your cells so insulin stops working, and it throws off the gut and liver that are supposed to be clearing your hormone. And your gut sits right at the center of that inflammation. So when you calm your gut, you're not fixing just one thing, you're loosening the whole knot. That's the whole reason that the belly isn't a calorie problem. It's an inflamed, dysregulated system asking you for help. And a system responds to being supported, not punished. Your body will often whisper before it screams. That belly is the whisper. It's information, not a verdict. Now, before you go, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me, did you have any idea that your gut and liver were this involved in your belly? And which piece are you going to look at first? I read every single one, and they do help me know what to make for you next. And if this gave you even one light bulb moment, do me a favor and hit that like button so that it reaches another woman who's been told to eat less and try harder. Subscribe if you'd like to keep learning how to work with your body instead of against it. And please share this with a friend who's been told her labs are normal, but knows in her gut that something is still off. She really needs to hear this. Remember, your body isn't broken, it's burdened. And when you understand those burdens, you can finally begin supporting your body in the way it's needed all along. Please take care of yourself because you deserve to feel better. And remember, we're all in this together. I'll see you in the next one.